Fred, great to be with you again, and continue to have our conversation surrounding cryptocurrencies or crypto assets, digital assets, and it's amazing that it's its own ecosystem that people who are really involved with it understand all the different dynamics that are going on, and week after week we're going to continue to have these conversations, which is pretty amazing that there's so much happening really on a day-to-day basis. We could do it, 24/7, which of course the market's open 24/7. But last week, of course, it was so interesting just to talk about a new feature for the Bitcoin fund, which is that normal course issuer bid. And then today or this week, you've got another announcement in terms of a new feature, a redemption in kind feature. I think it's one of a kind for any type of Bitcoin fund that's out there. And there aren't that many yet, really.
Yes, Catherine, and it's great to use this forum to be able to explain these features to our listeners and our unit holders. So this week, what we announced is everyone was always aware that the closed-end Bitcoin fund has monthly redemption features, but it's a monthly redemption at a 5% discount to the trading price, which doesn't satisfy people's necessary needs. But the beauty about the Canadian closed-end fund, and really the differences between us and other products around the world, is we always have an annual redemption at net asset value. So at least once a year, the fund will go from if it trades at a discount, will end up trading at its net asset value. And what we did is we got a lot of requests from our unit holders who we listen to, mostly the bigger family offices, pension funds, and institutions, where they asked if they could redeem in Bitcoin as opposed to redeeming for cash. And the reason being is there's a 15-day delay between when they would redeem and they would get their cash. And nobody wants to be out of the Bitcoin market for 15 days.
Interesting. So it's interesting on a number of fronts, but one, of course, is that you can buy into this fund, and people have to understand that whether you're buying into a stock fund or an ETF or whatever, you often really want to know that you own the underlying asset, that you can actually get that delivery. So what you're telling me with respect to this fund, which is really, I think, how it was set up, that it is a representation, obviously, of owning Bitcoin. You, at the end of the day, if you want, can own Bitcoin in your own wallet.
Exactly. Now, there are constraints that we're allowed to do, meaning when people wish to redeem Bitcoin in kind, meaning us send Bitcoin to their wallet, what's critically important is there are minimums because it cannot be dilutive to regular unit holders. What this should do is stabilize the discount that the fund sometimes trades at, depending on the volatility of the market.
And so, Fred, it's interesting, though. It sounds as though it was really kind of the unit holders, large family offices, and therefore maybe also institutions that kind of came to you with this idea or this desire while owning your fund. What does that kind of tell you about the sentiment surrounding digital assets and crypto assets?
I think what it's doing is it's helping bringing the digital asset universe, the people that buy digital assets for their own wallets, and the investment structured products businesses closer together. And I think it's synonymous with owning Bitcoin. As we mentioned, we believe that a closed-end fund, where the fund uses its normal course issuer bid, or it's at the market offering to be accretive to investors, the investors know that they can always get out and get the Bitcoin delivered. And that's really is exactly what we represent.
Was it difficult to get this done?
No, not at all. This is the change has to do with the change in the deed of trust to allow us. We don't have to go to a shareholder vote if it's a favorable change to the unit holders. And this is seen as a very favorable change. And it also says, I think one point where you were mentioning is, it means 3IQ, we're listening to our unit holders, and we will continue to listen to our unit holders so we can come up with the best products available.
It's amazing, though, how much innovation has already taken place within the industry just to kind of get us to where we are here now. And now we're even talking about further features that, presumably are very favorable to the owner of the assets.
And exactly, Catherine. I think this is where the plug comes in. I think people will have to sign up for our newsletter on a weekly basis and stay tuned to this channel to get all the wonderful updates and the changes that are coming from 3iQ.
Okay, well, I'm curious to know what they're going to be, and I have a feeling, I hope I'm going to be part of the conversation. Fred, thanks so much for joining us and continuing to shed light on this important space. I really think it's a new financial frontier.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.